text reflections on Swiss and Colombian approaches on multilingualism. We are Julián Andrés Amaya Rojas, Kelly Andrea Gudelo Silva, and Laura Sofía Cuervo Lopez. This is our flipbook. We hope you enjoy it. In the first part, we address the policy description where you can find the Switzerland Federal System of Language Education. You can find the benefits and challenges of bilingual programs and the regional variations of bilingual education. Then we have the Swiss language law goals, where we mention the 4 main languages that are spoken in Switzerland, which are German, French, Italian, and Romanish. And then we mention some of the issues that happened along the way of creating this policy. We also mentioned the goals for the government, as the date of the creation of the policy, and the consequences or the procedures for creating this law. Also, the benefits for the community of this policy. In the next part, you can find the implementation, where we mention 3 main areas, which are the government, the education, and the society, and a conclusion where we address the advantages and the circumstances that lead to have a successful policy in order to create a multilingual and multicultural country. Then we have a chart where we present the impact of multilingualism in Switzerland, which is also divided in 3 important aspects, which are similar to the ones that we presented before, which are the cultural impact, the government relations, and the education. After that, we have next part, which is how does Swiss policy address equity? We mentioned 3 main aspects, which are rural and urban access. After that, teacher training, which is one of the parts which call our attention the most. And the technology use, which is something that we value a lot about this policy. As a conclusion of this model, and I'm sorry for the speed, but it's because of the time, we can say that the distribution that Switzerland has made to the European community has been enormous, setting an example of diverse development and respect for the identity developed with the nationals. The regulations are designed to accommodate each person according to the mother tongue, which means that rights are equal for all. And then we mention some of other citations that we consider important, but we invite you to read in order to have more knowledge about this policy.
Okay, in module number 2, we focus to make a comparative analysis between Switzerland and Colombia. So in this chart, you can find some differences according to language teaching and learning, language use, and indigenous minority language policies. In addition, we have other general aspects where you can find some difference between these 2 countries. Additionally, we found that for several years, Colombia has sought to train competent citizens in a foreign language, in this case, English. So here there is a timeline that reflects the different laws that have been created to accomplish this purpose. However, we consider that there are some gaps in these policies, specifically in Programa Nacional de Inglés, where the government proposed 13 initiatives to reach their objective. However, we found the gaps. So, for example, they proposed that secondary school would have English class 3 hours per week, while elementary school would have half hour per week. We say that that is inequity because all students have the same rights to access to education. In addition, we think that kids are the ones that should be more exposed to the language because of the neural connection that they are doing on our brain during their age. So for that reason, they need a great exposure to the language. On the other hand, the government established that there should be some adjustments in terms of infrastructure to guarantee an effective learning process. However, as Roy stated, some regions in Colombia are not taken into account during this law because they have difficulties to have access to technology and an adequate infrastructure in their institutions.
Well, finally, we're going to make a proposal. Uh, it is named Intercultural Training in Bilingual Teachers in Ticuna Language for the teaching the whole subjects. This has an objective to develop teachers' training in Ticuna language to guarantee intercultural teaching and in the whole areas of knowledge. Also, another specific objectives that strengthen communicative skills of existing teachers and future teachers of Ticuna to implement it during their training and also when they go to the to teach um, use the Ticuna language and also carry out production of the didactic material and pedagogical resources in the Ticuna language across coding the use of different subjects. For doing that, we have some strategies, creation of development and teacher training programs that allows the strengthening of cultural and linguistic knowledge, also implementation of practices in Ticuna context, and also we have requests a direct access to the formal laws to and decrees to be promulgated also in Ticuna language. Some access to multicultural linguistic and pedagogical training focus on bilingualism with an emphasis in the Ticuna language and also Ticuna as language of instruction with its components and didactic application. Finally, development of curricula where language and worldview will of the Ticuna people are integrated. Finally, we have also some local adaptations. We highlight four local adaptations, including planning, also design tax-based, design some tax-based learning and real situation based on real situations, incorporating daily activities of Ticuna people. Also, classes must be held in Ticuna language and organized development of the program around the community learning spaces where teachers in training learning direct for traditional Ticuna speakers. The implementation will be made in four phases: diagnosis, curricula design, pilot implementation, and consolidation. With this, we will try to address and also to empower the communities to use those strategies in the whole communities we have. First, we're going to start with the 45% of the of teachers we have in Colombia, and then we are going to extend it to Brazil and Peru Peruvian communities to implement the program during the whole um, on the whole communities. Think that will be the whole. Thank you so much for sharing this. And finally, we have you have some reflections about this and the references we use to make this. Thank you so much, and we hope you enjoy our implementation plan.
Thank you.